Good afternoon. This is Kathleen at My Alabama Farm Life, and today we are going to be planting some cabbages in this raised bed, but first I need to get it cleaned out. This was where I had my tomatoes, and my son actually remembered which tomatoes he planted here. It was the Little Red Riding Hoods. So those were the tomatoes. It looks like they are indeterminate and they produced really well. So I'm so thankful that we were able to figure out what kind of tomatoes they were. But as you can see, it's time for me to clear them out. We need to make space for fall plants, and by the time we get our first frost, these tomatoes will be wiped out. So let's get these cabbages into the ground and get them growing before it gets too cold. So if you're new to my channel, you're going to find out very quickly that I love my raised beds. In fact, we raise a lot of our vegetables in many different containers, but the raised beds are my favorite. Now these are 3x6s, and I have 4 of them in front of my house. And as I said before, I had tomatoes in this one, and now I'm going to be planting cabbage. I'm going to just use the 1/2 to plant cabbage, and then I got to figure out what to put on the other side. It's either going to be spinach or carrots, or it may be both, but we'll see what I do when we get there. So now I've got pretty much everything out of here. There was some grass growing in here and a few other weeds. And what I'm going to do next is dump a big bag of potting soil into this section. Today I'm going to be using Jungle Garden, and this is flower and vegetable professional mix, and the bag is 2 cubic feet or 56 liters. And this is a 3x3 area, so it's not going to fill it up completely, but it will fill it up nicely. Well, the bag was a little bit heavy, but as you can see, I got it in there. I didn't lose anything. And so now I'm going to take my hoe and I'm just going to go ahead and spread it out as evenly as possible. We actually decided to go ahead and plant our cabbage in the raised bed this year. We actually put some broccoli in the field, and the deer and either a rabbit or a groundhog ate it all. So we're going to put the cabbage in the raised bed. Well, my son bought a tray of the cabbage, and he also bought a tray of broccoli. Like I said, we put the broccoli out in the field and then decided to put the cabbage here. So I'm going to try to get all 36 of these little plants into this 3x3 area. I was looking at the spacing, and it says for a raised bed, it should be a 12-inch space for each plant. Well, we're not going to do this. I don't even think I have barely 6 inches. So don't do what I do, follow the instructions, but we're going to see how well these cabbage grow and see just how tight they're going to be. So this is kind of an experiment. My son told me that I needed to space them out more, and I probably would have done better if I did it in more of a checkerboard pattern, which would give each plant more room. But I didn't think about that until it was too late. So I did pretty good this day, and I got 4 rows in, but I didn't get the rest. Now I want to show you what procrastination does. Now I planted lettuce over here, some garlic, and I already had onions here. And I do have some lettuce coming up, but not near as much as I planted because my chickens keep getting into it. And then my son the other day went out and started pulling out the broccoli that was in the field. There were a few that had some leaves coming out, so we've pulled them out, and we've put them in these buckets, and we're going to see if we can get us some broccoli. Now in this raised bed, I have my cucumber and I have some cabbage, I have some bok choy, and some lettuce. Again, I've put in more lettuce seed, but it's not coming up. And it looks like the chickens have been in here too, even though I do have the netting over the top of it. I need to go get more netting to save my plants. All right, so I discovered that my little cabbage is starting to wilt, so I really need to get all this completed today. My front yard is an actual mess, and I really have a lot of things to do, and I need to get this checked off my list. The weather has been absolutely beautiful here lately. It's been in the mid 70s and lows in the mid 40s. We've been getting some small sprinkles, but not any really hard showers. So I've been supplementing watering from the hose, and of course it's not always the best thing to do, but that's what I have to do to keep my plants going. So today I'm going to finish putting in the last 6 plants. I went ahead and watered these guys before I put them in the ground to give them some extra moisture, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the wind or what, but they seemed to dry out really fast, and they didn't really retain any water, and they just stayed wilty. So I just went ahead and got them in the ground, and after this I'm going to give them a really, really nice drink of water to make sure that they have the opportunity to thrive. So this is going to be the last video for my Shed Wars 23 for the global gardening and homesteading community. My final total for pounds was 222 pounds. It was more than that, but when I did a backup of my phone, it went to the wrong iCloud, and when I went to go retrieve my information, everything was gone. I lost all my addresses, I lost the document that had all my totals on it. So I went back and I went through all my pictures, and I took a lot of pictures of my weight totals, and so I got all of those. And my egg totals for the last month and a half. We butchered a chicken and a couple other things, so it ended up being a max of 222 pounds. So I'm proud of that, but I know it was more. But that this is going to be my final total because, like I said, I lost that document. But that's all right. I think that's pretty decent for a small farm. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something. You guys have a blessed and joyous day, and I will see you on my next video.